Hello everyone and welcome to Circuit Masterclass. In this video, we will learn about the different losses in a transformer. By the end of this session, you will clearly understand what causes these losses, their types, and how to express them mathematically. Every transformer experiences some energy loss during operation. These losses are mainly of two types: no load losses and load losses. We also call the no load losses core losses, because they occur in the magnetic core of the transformer. The load losses are commonly called copper losses because they occur in the windings. Let's begin with the core losses. Even when the transformer runs without any load connected, a small current flows in the primary winding to magnetize the core. Because the core flux remains constant, these losses stay almost constant, whether the transformer is loaded or not. Core losses consist of two parts: eddy current loss and hysteresis loss. When the alternating magnetic flux passes through the iron core, it induces small circulating currents within the metal. These currents are called eddy currents, and they cause heating of the core material, which is a power loss. We can express eddy current loss with this equation: W sub E equals K sub E multiplied by frequency squared, multiplied by form factor squared, multiplied by maximum flux density squared. Here, K sub E is the eddy current constant, F is the supply frequency, K sub F is the form factor, and B sub M is the maximum flux density in the core. To reduce this loss, the transformer core is laminated, which limits the path of circulating currents. Next comes hysteresis loss. The magnetic domains inside the core continuously realign themselves as the magnetic polarity changes with each AC cycle. This repeated realignment consumes energy, which appears as heat in the core. We express hysteresis loss with the equation W sub H equals K sub H multiplied by frequency, multiplied by maximum flux density raised to the power 1.6. Here, K sub H is the hysteresis constant, and B sub M is again the maximum flux density. To minimize hysteresis loss, manufacturers use materials like cold rolled grain-oriented silicon steel or amorphous metal cores. So both eddy current and hysteresis losses together form the core loss, which is nearly constant for a transformer. Now, let's move on to load losses. When the transformer supplies load, current flows through both the primary and secondary windings. Because every conductor has resistance, this current produces heat loss, called I squared R loss or copper loss. It is directly proportional to the square of the current. That means if the load current doubles, the copper loss becomes 4 times greater. So copper loss increases with loading and reaches its maximum at full load. In addition to copper loss, there's another small but important loss called stray loss. The leakage fluxes from both primary and secondary windings do not confine entirely within the core. Some of these leakage fluxes link with metallic parts of the transformer tank or frame. Because these fluxes continuously change, they induce small local currents in those metal parts. These circulating currents produce heat, adding another source of energy loss. That is what we call the stray loss. During a short circuit test, we measure the total load loss, which equals the sum of I squared R loss plus stray loss. Now, how do we measure these losses? We use two standard transformer tests: the open circuit test and the short circuit test. The open circuit test measures the core losses. The short circuit test measures the load losses. In the open circuit test, a very small current called the magnetizing current flows through the primary. The small ohmic loss due to this current is negligible compared to the total core loss, so we generally ignore it. Lastly, we come to the dielectric loss. It occurs in the insulation system of a transformer. It happens whenever the transformer operates with alternating voltage. The insulation materials, such as oil, paper, and pressboard, act as dielectrics between the live parts of the transformer. When we apply an AC voltage, an electric field develops across these materials. The molecules inside the dielectric try to align themselves with the changing electric field. However, they cannot follow the rapid reversals of the alternating voltage instantly. This lag in molecular alignment is known as the delay in polarization. Because of this delay, a part of the electrical energy converts into heat within the insulation. This heating effect represents the dielectric loss. It happens in both loaded and no load condition of the transformer. Although the magnitude of dielectric loss is small, it continuously adds to the total losses of the transformer. Maintaining clean and dry insulation helps minimize this loss and improve the overall efficiency of the transformer. Let's summarize what we learned today. Core or no-load losses consist of eddy current loss and hysteresis loss, and they remain almost constant. Load losses include copper loss and stray loss, and they increase with load current. Core losses depend on frequency and flux density, while copper losses depend on the square of current. So that's all about transformer losses, the invisible enemies of efficiency. By designing the core with high-grade steel and laminations, and by using conductors with low resistance, we can reduce these losses and improve transformer performance. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Circuit Masterclass for more power engineering lessons. Thanks for listening, and see you in the next lecture.
Thanks for watching. We hope this video helped you understand electrical engineering concepts better. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to like, share, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Stay with us and stay updated with more videos on transmission lines, substations, and power systems. Until next time, stay curious, keep learning, and keep the power flowing.